So I thought I'd make a video on not wanting to be told what to do. And it's a very sincere request. It's a sense of pressure in the mind and conflict internally that's exemplifying itself outside. And so with this increased pressure, there's an intolerance of self and other is where the split occurs. What's really happening, of course, is that we're just feeling so inflamed by guilt and shame that the other seems to be pointing it out simply by making a request of us. In community, I used to find that if somebody asked me to do something and I already was about to do it, that simply them requesting me to do it really irritated me, because somehow I thought it made me look as if I didn't know what to do, as if I was incompetent, as if I was not up to the task or not taking care of my area. And it used to put a huge strain on me. Till one morning I woke up very early, realizing I hadn't finished doing the purchase order for the community storeroom. And I put on my knapsack and I went out at 7 in the morning to go to the store to pick up the cleaning supplies before someone would say, "Won't you make sure you get those today?" And I was stealthily coming down the stairs at 7 in the morning, and a stair creaked and I went, "Oh no," and the door opened. And the person who was just over the area I was working on at the time said to me, "Sarah, won't you make sure you get those cleaning products today?" And I hung my head like this and I said, "Oh, I was trying to creep out to get them before you would say that. I know. And there was the problem, because there was a very sincere desire to take care of my area, but not as devoted an intention to take care of the forgiveness that my area was for. Now, this may seem like a strange thing, saying, why isn't being good not good enough? And it's really that being good is a cover over what's really going on in the mind. Being good is really a disguise often on the shame and the guilt that we're already feeling. And we can feel so terribly put upon and so incredibly pressurized to get things right in form to compensate for that shame and guilt. Of course, living in community or being in a holy relationship, the desire is to expose the underlying guilt and shame. And that's not always very pleasurable, to put it mildly. It's quite a spike in the ego's paw, and it's not into it at all. So the invitation is to see that that's all that's happening, that there is a crucifixion of sorts, all often felt unwarranted and unjust by simply hearing the request. What's the reason? The reason is we're not hearing it as a request. We're hearing it as a command or an objection or even a condemnation immediately, even if it's the first time we've heard this request. Somehow the implication is we should have known this already and we should have done it. Now that is based on a belief that's already there in your own mind and is quite a deep one to look at. But that's where it's coming from, is that we're not hearing a request. We don't believe things are voluntary and we're feeling coerced somehow. So not wanting to be told what to do links very much in with the authority problem. But I would say in the kindest way possible that really it's you've lost that sense of knowing who you are. And so you feel obliged to do something that authentically you're not feeling to do in this moment. Not at least until you've exposed all the underlying attack thoughts, beliefs and desires that are in operation, that are squeezing you in the mind. Very often, as soon as those are released and exposed, you can come back to a very natural, voluntary sense of, oh yeah, sure, I can do that. Because the two things are no longer related. The thing that has allowed you to see that you're irritated, upset, feeling ashamed, feeling put upon, is now no longer the cause of your distress once that's relieved. And so you can very easily join with someone and feel into what is given for you to do and what is truly helpful. And it's just very important to understand that your call is to be authentic and say, I'm not feeling that. I notice I feel irritated by you even asking me this. I notice I feel used, abused, put upon, taken for granted. Anything that's coming up for you, anything at all, angry. Why should I? We start to sound very much like our 13-year-old selves asked to do a chore at home when we find these knee-jerk reflexes. And instead of dismissing them and saying, I shouldn't be like that, I'm an adult, I really feel you should take a look at what the intensity is really bringing up in awareness and how you are feeling, rather than saying, oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that one. That's just me being something. I'll get over it. Well, let's not get over it. Let's get under it. And let's really get to the heart of where you're feeling squeezed, because you're worthy of feeling good. And you can do this path authentically, or truly not at all, because you have to experience it as a voluntary act and decision in every moment, because it's an invitation to awakening. And it's one that you have to accept second by second, rather than just once. It's every moment, every day, saying, yes, yes, I would like this. Yes, I would like to be relieved of this distress. Yes, I would like to see I'm mistaken and wrong. And yes, I would like to see that you're not against me, but you're with me all the way.